And we are live. Welcome, Mystery and Thriller Mavens. I'm your on-air host and author, Sara DiVello, and I am so excited to welcome back to Mystery and Thriller Mavens tonight, Gigi Pandian, here to give us the inside scoop on the library game. Gigi, welcome back. Tell us about this book.
Thank you so much for hosting me. This is so exciting to be here on Book Launch Eve. So, hey everyone, and thank you again, Sarah. So in the library game, it is a locked room mystery that is set at a home that is being converted into a community library devoted entirely to classic detective fiction. So this is basically my love letter to libraries and classic mysteries. And I had so much fun playing with them in this, but since it is a locked room mystery, the setup is the library is about to open. And so Hidden Creek, the small town in the book, is having its annual summer stroll. And so they, to drum up business, they're doing a couple of games at the library. They're doing an escape room game and a murder mystery dinner party that's interactive. And when they're doing a last rehearsal for the murder mystery play, one of the actors is murdered in an impossible way because it's a prop gun. So how did it kill one of the actors? And even more baffling, how did the body disappear from this library that has been watched the whole time? So it is up to Tempest Taj, a former stage illusionist, who can see through misdirection to figure out what on earth is happening in the library game.
Yay! Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about, Gigi, and I'm so excited to get into it with you. We are broadcasting live to 8 different destinations across Facebook and YouTube. So, hey, mystery and thriller loving friends, no matter where you're watching from, you're in the right place. This is the right time. It is Mystery Monday because Mondays can be murder. We are going to make it a little less painful, get your week off to a killer start. So if you've been with us before, you know the drill. And if you're new, welcome, friends. Here's the drill. Every Monday, I give you my handpicked featured authors, and you get to ask them anything. So ask Gigi about Tempest, about this locked room mystery, her love letter to library, and locked room mysteries. She's all of us. And I can't wait to talk with you. Margaret Pinard, our fellow author, is joining us from Portland, Oregon, saying, who's a sucker for a book with library in the title? Me, also a huge library lover. I'm on the board of my local library. I love libraries.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yay. Chris is saying hello from Ohio on YouTube.
Hey,
Margaret is saying, wait a minute, I think I also know Gigi's mom, Sue. Wait, do you have a mom named Sue, Gigi?
I do. Hey, Margaret, my mom's friend. Hi.
Oh my God, Margaret, tell us how you know Gigi's friend's mom, Sue. This is crazy. Renee is joining us from Facebook saying, hi, Sarah and Gigi from Gusty,
hey, Renee.
Southeast Florida. It's a little gusty up here, too. Robin is joining us from Facebook saying, hello, all.
Hey, Robin.
Murder by the Book saying, a love letter to locked room mysteries. We are all leaning in. We are leaning on in as well, our 2 favorite things. Margaret says, wait a minute, what is an annual summer stroll? Yeah, tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. So a summer stroll, this is actually something that some of the neighborhoods around where I live in the Bay Area do, where there's the small businesses offer a little something special. So to bring people in, so sometimes the roads are closed. And so people can, so just bringing in neighbors and folks who want to come from a little bit further, so that there's supporting local small businesses like Independent Bookstore Murder by the Book. So things like that. So, yeah.
I love that. Renee says, wait a minute, is there a library of the book? Is there a map of the library in the book?
So that is one thing I don't have. So I love that in classic mysteries, how they often have that map. So I don't actually get a map in the book, but that is something that since my mom was brought up already, and she is an artist. So maybe that's something that I should do a little blog post and ask her to draw. So that is something. God. So yes,
you should
I love this
do
idea.
That. And also, it could be a fun thing for anyone who purchases a book tonight or on tour. They could get a copy of Sue Pandian's, hand-drawn once in a lifetime artist. Oh, thank you for all the hearts on Facebook, you guys. I see the bouquets of hearts. Yay. Okay, Chris from YouTube is saying, anything library is so loved. Oh, me too, Chris. We love libraries. Robin is noticing my nails. Okay, this is my red hot nails. Thank you for noticing. That was my self-care Sunday. I treated myself to a manicure. I like you. Good eye, Robin. Are you a detective? Margaret says she knows Sue through tutoring / small press readings outside Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
She's a lovely poet. Wait, we have a poetess, Mom. This is awesome.
Yes. She is multi-talented. So yeah, I have a
my
lot to live up to.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. Renee's saying this is so great. This is so great. And we are not the only ones who think it is great. Kirkus Reviews had some lovely words to say. Let's take a peek at that. They said there is some welcome character development and a plot that ends with a bang, all with a touch of whimsy. So Gigi, one of the questions submitted in advance, which I was wondering too, is this is book 4 in the series. So first of all, how is that to write book 4 compared to book 1?
So I am having so much fun with this series because since I've always loved locked room mysteries, otherwise known as impossible crime stories. And so I wasn't, when I was a little baby author, I was not ready to write them into a full-length novel because you have to carry a puzzle throughout a whole novel. And so I cut my teeth writing locked room mystery short stories while I was writing puzzle plot mysteries, but not quite as complex as locked room mysteries. And so now that I've been writing for more than a decade, it was so much fun to explore this type of puzzle in a full-length novel so I could balance that with all of the characters that I love. And so it's so much fun to be thinking about growing these characters that I love with what type of puzzle, like how they would react to like a different impossible situation. So it's so much fun to throw them into these things. And the fun thing about a novel compared to a short story too is that I don't always know the complexities of how the puzzle will be resolved. I know part of it, but since it has to be, if it's going to sustain itself for a whole book compared to just a short story, it needs more than a simple twist at the end, because I want people to be, when they get to the end, I want it to be a satisfying aha moment where readers are also slapping their foreheads thinking, oh, I should have seen it, because all the clues, they really are there. But also that it feels satisfying that you can see that I have pulled all the threads throughout it. But yeah, so it's fun to play with and have that breathing room to really play with that.
So my favorite thing is to get to the end of a book and that exact same face palm. How did I not see it? And then I go back to make sure that the writer played fair with me. And I think, how did I not see it? And I love getting fooled, but simultaneously trying to figure it out. So Gigi, how do you do that from a craft perspective? Are you literally like trying to figure it out yourself, or are you like, how do you do it?
So when I'm thinking of a locked room puzzle, I need to have at least the seed of an idea of how the twist can work. Okay. And once I have that, then I can start building a more intricate puzzle. And one thing too, that my wonderful editor at Minotaur Books is always really great at is sometimes I try to go too complex and she has to pull me back a little bit, because it's a book. It is not just a puzzle. It is something you are there for the characters to pull you along in a compelling story. And so the puzzle, I want to be really satisfying and baffling, but it is not just a puzzle. And sometimes I feel like some people want just the puzzle. I don't want just the puzzle. Yeah. I want it to be part of a bigger narrative that is fun, that's pulling you along, but not just the puzzle. And so I do have to think about that balance. And so I am a notebook paper writer before I ever go to the computer. And so I feel I actually have my latest notebook. So I've been traveling. So I'm here in a hotel room doing some book events. But so I have my latest little notebook that I've been traveling with, like on the airplane, because I really hate that they've put Wi-Fi on airplanes. Really, like, can we not have just a short period of time? And so I choose to believe that there is no Wi-Fi on airplanes. And I just, put in my headphones with rain sounds and just write on airplanes. And so I've actually written a bunch of pages here, which is fun for my next Accidental Alchemist mystery, which I'm revising, because that's another thing that helps me do the good puzzles is switching between things. once I've drafted, so like after I draft a secret staircase mystery, so for the library game, because my editor was right, I was getting a little too complex. So I had to set it aside and then work on something completely different. And so an Eternally Young Alchemist and a Living Gargoyle are completely different. And so they have their own hijinks fun. And so I can work on that for a little while, have fun with that. And then my subconscious will have hopefully my subconscious will have figured out what to do with the puzzle. And yeah, so filling many, many paper notebooks.
Oh my God, I love that you write by hand first. That is just, I'm an old-fashioned girl myself. Robin is saying the Christmas short story is so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yay. Renee wants to know, how many books do you plan on having in this series? Gigi, do you know?
I don't know. Yeah, it's really hard because there's so many things that I want to write. And I have so many notebooks filled with ideas for things that I haven't gotten to yet, plus more ideas for this. So I don't have an answer for any of the things, but yeah. So I'm definitely having fun with it for now and playing with lots of ideas. But there's also lots of new exciting things too. But yeah, so if anybody knows how to give me more hours in the day, that would be much appreciated because there are many things to write.
So it could be a potential 36 case Scarpetta kind of thing.
I actually though, okay, I'll tell a secret. I can't imagine writing 36 books in a series. How does anyone do that? I have not done that. I've been writing since I had my first book out in 2012. So how many years ago is that? So 13 years ago now. So yeah. And so I have not written 36 books. And at this point in my life, I cannot imagine writing 36 books, but who knows, maybe I could write 36 books.
I think Gigi Pandian is capable of anything.
How many books have you written?
Only 2. I'm sorry, okay. I'm so lame. I'm sorry you're such a loser compared to you and Patricia Cornwell. Oh my God.
No. Nobody should compare themselves to anybody else.
Robin is saying, was your book in Paris? Is this the Christmas short story? Did you write a book?
So I have written a book that was set in Paris. I've written a novella set in Paris. The Lost Gargoyle of Paris, and I've set parts of other books in France. So Quicksand in my Jaya Jones series is set. I love France, so I go to France a lot. So I have lots of books. So yeah, so part of that one is set there, and part of the Elusive Elixir in my Alchemist series. But in my Secret Staircase series, my Christmas short story is set in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Ooh,
another place I love very much.
Two fabulous locations. Y'all, the book is not even out yet. It drops tomorrow, and Gigi is coming on tonight as a very special sneak peek to take all of your most pressing questions about the library game. And you can order it tonight from our favorite woman-owned independent bookstore. That is, of course, Murder by the Book. Whether you're watching with us on Facebook or YouTube, here is that link to pre-order tonight. And the good folks at Murder by the Book will drop it to you the first thing tomorrow morning when the book comes out. So this is so exciting to have this pre-launch Q&A and get the inside scoop about the library game. Robin is saying, oops, sorry, wrong book. Margaret's saying, wait a minute, you just said the magic word, Scotland. Yes, very good very romantic locations here. Renee wants to know, what's your favorite place in Paris?
Okay, well, since I write a series about a gargoyle who was once carved in stone for Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, I do have to say Notre Dame. And I was actually just there during the reopening of Notre Dame, but the Gallery of Gargoyles wasn't yet open. That's set to reopen this summer. So I won't be able to go back and visit the gargoyles, for a little while, but climbing up, it is worth it to climb up all of those steps to visit the gargoyles. So when it's reopened, definitely worth it.
Ooh, thank you for this tip. Margaret is saying Paris always is a good idea. Exactly. Robin is saying, I'm so happy to hear that Gigi is having fun with her writing. Right? What a lovely thing to hear that you're having fun. Chris is saying, well, they say when you write something first, you retain more writing by hand. And I would venture to say that you also let things marinate a little more in doing so and in thinking things through. Gigi, your response.
Yeah, so it's actually it's not just that writing on paper frees me up to write things better, which it does, but also when I'm transcribing, I'm not just transcribing exactly what I've written, but that's basically my first form of editing. So I do a combination of just plotting and brainstorming, but also I'll write a lot of dialogue on paper because I feel that it flows much better. And as long as I can read my handwriting, which I can like 95% of the time, then I have like a weird, way. So my husband actually tried to help me once before, and he tried to like scan what I had done to help me type it up because I was like bemoaning the fact that it was taking me so long to transcribe. I had written a whole huge draft that was on paper. And so he tried to help me by doing that. And I was like, well, I don't even know that I want to do that because I really want to think it through to see what should make it to the next round, because lots of it just like frees my mind, but then not all of it should make it to the final book. But it didn't even end up that I had, it wasn't even my choice though, even though I'd like to think it is, because the little scan things that are supposed to be able to read your handwriting can't read your handwriting because I have my own little shorthands that I do in terms of my scribbles that I can read, but I don't know exactly, but it can't read them. And so occasionally though, I also keep a little notepad next to the bedside, on the bedside table, so that I can scribble down. But that is the worst because that is when I can't read my writing. Because if you're half asleep and scribble something down, that is the time that the handwriting is really not legible. But usually if I'm writing on an airplane or at a cafe or, in my study, I can read that, most of it.
Oh, that's not scribbles, Gigi. That's your secret code.
Yes, exactly. That is.
And oh my goodness, I just saw we have the legendary Arlene Cogdell in the audience. Hi, Arlene.
Hello.
Oh, our favorite, amazing, brilliant reviewer from the Sun Sentinel and Publishers Weekly and Shelf Awareness and an LA Times Book Prize jurist and so many other amazing things. Arlene's eye is second to none. Oh, I'm so honored you're here, Arlene. Thank you so much for joining us. It's so great to have you here. Someone's asking, so let's get back to the puzzles. Do you do puzzle? Do you like puzzles, Gigi?
Okay. I will share a secret, so don't tell anyone. Okay.
Okay.
I am the worst with puzzles. I love creating them and I love trying them, but I'm so bad. So like there's, in addition to the murder mystery, the little interactive dinner theater thing that is in the library game. So that's happening on the first floor of the library. And on the second floor, they've created a little literary themed escape room game. And that comes back to bite them because someone who is playing a game with them traps them in the escape room in the library. So Tempest has to figure out how to get out of that. But so I created that because escape rooms are so much fun, especially ones that are some sort of really cool theme. But I am terrible at them. I have so much fun trying to puzzle them out, but I'm just so bad. And there was one when my husband and I were on vacation in Edinburgh, Scotland. There was this one down this little close that was this very cool themed one. And he tagged along with me to do it. And it was just so fun. And everything around there was just like all of these puzzles and things to figure out. And I was like, oh, this is so fun. But he was like, well, we actually have to win this, And so he then set about cracking all of the codes and getting us out of the escape room.
Okay.
So we're a good team.
Your secret is safe with us, Gigi. Margaret is saying, question. So secret staircase sounds like a business I need to hire. What is your famous secret architectural / library feature?
So secret staircase construction is the Tempest family business. And so she was a stage illusionist in Las Vegas before her career crashed and burned thanks to sabotage. And so she moved home to work for the family business, but don't feel too sorry for her because the family business is secret staircase construction, which builds magic into people's homes through things like sliding bookcases that reveal hidden libraries. And sadly, happily, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, which I love. But sadly, that also means my house is pretty small. And so I haven't been able to build any sliding bookcases that lead to any secret rooms. And so this series is very much wish fulfillment for me, because it is just, I can in fiction imagine all of the things that would just be so amazing to do. So Tempest's parents, when they were just starting out the business, they experimented on their own house. And so they had a small house that was about the size of mine in real life, but they had space that they could expand it and try out all of these different things. So sconces that revealed a hidden panel that led up to a secret staircase, and, you know, fireplace bricks that if you press a brick, something hidden will reveal itself, and grandfather clocks that if you push the little creature climbing up, the wooden creature climbing up the side of it, then it opens itself up to a secret garden that's hidden behind the kitchen. So all of these things that I wish I had space and the skills. I mean, I don't have the skills to do this. I just love learning about it, which is so much fun. Yeah, so it is definitely wish fulfillment. And I learned, actually, I had a whole bunch of people send me about a year ago, maybe. So this was after I had the series out. There was a New York Times story about a business that actually does this. And so many people sent me this that, but theirs was a really high-end one, and secret staircase construction is more of a scrappy family business. So you don't have to be super wealthy to get something built in your home. But you do need more space than my little house.
That's the dream, is a secret staircase, a garden behind the kitchen. I mean, who doesn't want this? Robin is saying she's 38% into the books and she wants to live in this house. We all want a secret staircase. Or my other dream is to have a book ladder.
Oh yes.
That's also the dream. Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness, we're getting so many comments. This is so great. Could you see any of your books being turned into a musical? What a fun question.
Oh, that is a fun question. I don't know that I've ever been asked the musical question. I've been asked about like film and TV, which would be totally fun. And I know that I am not a screenwriter. So so I would not try to insert myself in that, but it would be fun to see. But a musical, I love musicals. And so that would be very fun. Oh, I love that question.
That would be so fun.
That would be fun. And since Tempest is a stage illusionist, I can see like how they would have to do the staging on that it would have to have lots of magic in it as well. So that would be really fun.
Oh my God, so fun. Gigi, are you in Phoenix? Robin wants to know.
I am in Phoenix because my next stop after this event is the Poison Pen bookstore in person. In Scottsdale, Arizona. So yes.
Yet another amazing woman-owned, independent, mystery-dedicated bookstore. Barbara Peters is a legend. What a fabulous place to begin your book.
Yeah, I feel so fortunate that one of the benefits of being a mystery writer is that I have an excuse to visit all these amazing independent bookstores all over the place, not just my local ones in the Bay Area. And it was really fun when I got to visit Murder by the Book in person. All of these things, it's just really fun.
Yay. Well, Publishers Weekly raves Pandian delights. Tempest remains an immensely likable heroine, and Pandian's shrewd puzzle plot arrives at a satisfying and surprising conclusion. This will enchant fans of Golden Age mysteries. I am such a fan of Golden Age mysteries. And thanks to Murder by the Book, we can ship anywhere. So whether you're watching with us on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere in the world, the good folks at Murder by the Book can send you your copy first thing in the morning. Here again is that link. Renee says, this book sounds amazing. Becky's joining us from YouTube saying Sanjay appears in the SS series and the JJ series. Lane Peters from JJ is mentioned in the AA series. Any thoughts on a crossover book with main characters from all three series interacting?
So this is one of the reasons why writing on paper is so freeing, because nothing has to be real. And so when I have written, because in my mind, like, it's just one world. And so my Accidental Alchemist mysteries, like, they have some, you know, they're considered cozy fantasy mysteries because, you know, centuries old alchemist and a living gargoyle, but that's not like magic really. Alchemy is just science that is not properly understood, people. And so, you know, it's just, we don't know. There could be alchemists out there. You don't know. So for me, they're just all, you know, in the same world. And so those crossovers have come about because I've just been scribbling away and I can write whatever wild things I want to in my notebooks. And sometimes something I write that I think is outrageous, I'm like, oh no, that totally works. And so when Dorian the Gargoyle, since he's a gargoyle and can't be seen by people, he does lots of armchair research. He thinks of himself as a modern day Poirot, since he has little gray cells and all, which are truly gray. So when he was doing research, reached out to art historian Lane Peters, which is mentioned. And Lane is one of the stars of the Jaya Jones series. But yeah, so Sanjay was my first stage magician character who I wrote about, who was just a side character in the Jaya Jones books. And because I love classic mysteries where there were many more magicians writing magician characters in the golden age of detective fiction, because of those puzzle plots, because stage magicians create the impossible, so they really are the perfect characters to see through seemingly impossible crimes. So Sanjay was just a small character in the Jaya Jones books, but he was so awesome that he kept growing. But when I wanted to try to write locked room mystery short stories, Sanjay was the perfect person for that. And so Sanjay became my main short story main character. And so the majority of my short stories have Sanjay, because all of my short stories to date, except for one that's coming soon, which is actually a puzzle, but it isn't a locked room mystery. So I've broken my streak. I now have more freedom to write short stories because sometimes they can be a puzzle. But that's all a long way to say it is all one world. And so in my mind, and so I don't know what crossovers might happen in the future. In my notebook scribbles, there have been ideas of some other things that might happen. But yeah, I love my subconscious. Those ideas are just there in the notebooks for now, but they will bubble up to the surface at some point.
Yay. Thank you for such a intricate and careful question. Becky, I see how you've read all of Gigi's books so carefully, and thank you for being such a dedicated, devoted reader and being here with us tonight.
Yes. So Becky, actually, if you remember how many languages Lane Peters speaks, please let me know, because I am trying to figure that out and I can't remember how many it is. I didn't create a diligent series Bible and I don't have a one for that series. And so it is a lot of languages, but I was looking through the old books when I was looking for that, and I need to find out.
Okay. Gauntlet cast, Becky Watts. Challenge should be accepted. John is joining us from Northeast Ohio. Hi, John. Welcome to the conversation. Renee saying, you are a busy bee tonight, Gigi. I know, it's going from one pre-launch event to the next, just being so fabulous.
I know. And I would like to say, actually, so this is maybe all the caffeine I've had talking, but I would love to do this. So if anyone who is here tonight pre-orders at Murder by the Book, who can mail you the book, since I couldn't be there in person this time, if you contact me on my website contact page to let me know you pre-ordered for Murder by the Book, I will send you a signed book plate and a bookmark. So if you would like that, since I can't sign your book in person there this time, but if you'd like to get it from them and just let me know, then I'd be happy to mail you that.
Yay, what an awesome offer. Thank you so much, Gigi. That is fantastic. And everybody, I'm going to go ahead and drop Gigi's website right here in the comments so that you will know. It's very mysterious. It's just her name, gigipandian.com. But here it is so that you can click it and head over there to send her your receipt from Murder by the Book and get a signed fabulous bookmark. That's going to be so, so great. Robin is saying, I love how Sarah includes us in these events. It's like we're all here together. Yeah, wait, we are all here together. Yes. Well said, Robin. Renee says, oh, thank you, Renee. Yes, exactly. We got to do our Sunday self-care. You got to do something for yourself on the weekends. Well said. Well said. Renee was saying, how do you come up with your characters' names?
Names are so interesting. Some of them just come to me immediately. But sometimes I actually have to use placeholder names for a while because because they're not quite right. And so I'll use, you need to get the right name for characters because otherwise they don't come to life and they can feel kind of cardboard. And I love writing dialogue, but it's really hard for me to do it if I don't know my characters well. And so I love dialogue because it's one of the easiest things for me to do once I know my characters. And the name, it has to be right. And I can tell sometimes that I've gotten somebody's name wrong if I am having so much trouble writing their dialogue. And so my most recent book, actually, there was a character that he should have really come to life. He really should have. I had this whole idea of him, but I couldn't get him on the page in the way I imagined him to be. And as soon as I changed his name, then it totally worked. It had a knock-on effect because I try not to have too many character names that sound like each other. But I think and even characters that have the same first name that starts with the same letter. So if you have two characters that if it's the same letter of their first name, the names have to sound completely different in how you pronounce them. Otherwise it can be confusing because books are audiobooks and they're books that you're going to read quickly if you're enjoying them. And so I don't want to trip you up confusing you about the character names. But yes, so important.
So many people don't think of that. And it's like, if you have them too similar, like Jean and Jane, and it just gets so confusing. Oh my God. Margaret is voting for the mashup. She said yes to the mashup. That sounds amazing. Oh my gosh. This is so great, you guys. Thank you for all your wonderful comments. We are out of time. Time flies when you're having this much fun, but you are going to want to, everyone's saying thank you for the offer of the signed bookmark options.
And a signed book plate and a bookmark. So I have skeleton key shaped book plates from the wonderful team at Minotaur Books, which are fabulous. So you will get a die cut skeleton key signed book plate and a bookmark. So if you order from Murder by the Book.
Oh my God, amazing. And who doesn't want the skeleton key? Oh my God, this is the stuff.
But that's me that has to sign it and mail to you. So let me know because Murder by the Book doesn't have them in stock. So get the book from them and then let me know you got it from them. And then I will send that to you.
So send Gigi a copy of your receipt again to her website, which I'm dropping in the chat. And don't forget to order from our favorite woman-owned independent bookstore. And Gigi is going to send you these fabulous signed book plates and bookmarks. And who doesn't love a good skeleton key powder? I wish we all had skeleton keys. They're so much more romantic than the regular keys. All right, y'all, that is a wrap for us. Gigi Pandian, thank you for coming back to give us the inside scoop on the library game the night before the book comes out. Thank you for the bookmark and this book plate options. Margaret is saying congrats, have so much fun.
Thank you, and thank you all.
We have so many people saying thank you for this. And y'all go get a snack and a drink, and I'll be back at the top of the hour with Tess Garreton. Sit tight until then.
Thanks all. Thanks.